Hi everyone, health is wealth. I'm happy to welcome Mukul back. Mukul, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you. Tell me what's been happening with you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me back, Dr. Sheena. It's a pleasure being back and talking about my journey. Yeah, I think a couple of months back when we met, I talked about how the whole program has helped me restore my physical ailment, primarily around things that I was going through my gut. What I can share today is how, besides helping me with my physical ailment and the conditions that I was troubled with, which is primarily related to gut, how it has also gone ahead and helped me with my some of the thinking around, as I think, alluded to you and you were talking about in the last session, was that how there's a strong connection between the gut and the brain,
Right.
and how this whole program has been able to uncover the situation in my gut is a reflection of more like a psychosomatic disorder, which is a reflection of how my mental health was. And what I would like to highlight is that before I joined the program, I had a very racing mind, and I didn't realize that I wasn't calm. I was just thinking, overthinking.
You were stressed.
Stress is an interesting concept, I would say. People would look at me and they would never say I was stressed. Even I never thought that I was stressed. But at a very subconscious level, the stress was there. And it was, and everyone has stress for different reasons. I think my stress was my own, or my mind, which was a very racing mind. It's always in a very, like when you have a computer and you have a CPU which is overworked, and
Right.
gets heated up and you hear
So
the sound. So it was at
racing
that level, it
thoughts.
was always racing. And that, what that meant is that it was thinking, and I'm always in a thinking mode where I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, but not doing anything and just pondering over it, how I'm gonna do it. And that was like a very circular loop that I was in. And how you kind of helped me uncover that, and how this whole program has been able to restore that.
Yes. I think a lot of people think stress or anxiety or depression are very limiting terms where it's related to negative things happening or trauma, which can also be the case. But we all undergo a certain amount of level of stress and anxiety in our daily lives, even though nothing immediately negative might be happening, but our minds will absorb a lot of negativity from the media, from the news, from the economic activities happening around us, socio-political events, and everyone talks about it. Everyone has an opinion, and all of that kind of builds into our psyche, and all the negativity stays there, and it tends to help us, it tends to hinder us, not help us. It kind of stands in our way of being peaceful, of being positive. And that's why our Be Calm, the remedy, is designed to recenter the limbic system so that you stop focusing on all the white noise and all the negativity around you, and you recenter yourself and focus on the positivity in your life. The limbic system is designed to help us defend. It's a defense mechanism to help us, you know, get past all the negativity. But in today's terms, we are actually the apex predators. We are right on top of the food chain. So the negativity is created by us.
Yeah.
And we retain that, whether it's from external sources or even our own family members can stress us out, you know, and we tend to kind of retain all that stress, and that builds and builds. And what it does to the brain is it creates circular patterns of thinking where now you're just worrying about things. You don't have a bottom line, you don't really have a problem to solve, you're just sitting and worrying about it, which can be also very detrimental to your health. So you've taken the Be Calm. Tell me, how did it feel sedative in any any way? Like, how did you like it?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I think when I started it, when I started the Be Calm and Total Balance, I think I did share with you, I think the first couple of months, besides obviously having helping with my gut and all the problems, what I felt was that I was slowing down. I felt that, you know what, I do not have that drive in me anymore. Like that, because my mind was always racing, right? So it's always thinking about, I gotta go do this thing next, gotta do this thing next. And then I kind of, after having this medication, I kind of felt that I'm not doing that anymore. And I was like, and I kind of got the impression that I'm slowing down. But over a period of time, I realized that I was achieving more. I wasn't thinking more, but I was doing more than what I was thinking.
Right.
And I think that is where, and that's where people talk about the power of meditation and the medications and so on. So in that regard, I think it helped me immensely.
Right.
What I would also though try to draw a parallel is that, and I think it's mental health is like, I mean, there used to be a stigma attached to it a lot, but I think people are getting to realize, and mental health does not necessarily have to be dealt in the wrong way.
Negative
It's,
way.
yeah, exactly. I mean, and there are levels to it, right?
Yes.
Everyone goes through their own situation, and everyone is wired differently.
Yes.
I think the key is acknowledging and then working on it.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what was lacking in me, and that's what I acknowledged, and I started working with your medication. I was also going to draw a parallel between some of the anti-anxiety medication that are there in the Western world, which comes with its own, like, you know, sedation, side effects, and all that. Compared to that, in this case, I don't have any side effects whatsoever, and I kind of feel, you know, I don't necessarily. I feel a sense of calm. I don't necessarily have to be, you know, thinking that I'm going to go and conquer the world.
Right.
That is how I was.
Right.
I'm going to conquer the world, but I'm still there. I'm not doing anything. Versus you don't necessarily have to think and believe all the time that you're going to conquer the world. You just accept the things the way they are, and then you know, and then you work towards, you know, in a very incremental way, you
Right.
know, step by step. So
Right.
that those things maybe comes very naturally to some people because their mind and the brain is wired like that. For some people whose brain is not wired like that, it takes an effort, and you need to take help from medication, from yoga, meditation, and so on.
Right.
So yeah, so that was a big plus for me with this kind of program.
Right. So ultimately, your circular patterns of thinkings calm down, and you feel you're more linear now. You're calm and you're able to achieve what you want to set your mind to rather than just think about it.
Definitely, and I wouldn't say I'm completely out of it. It's a journey. There are moments where I tend to fall back into that, and then that's where I kind of have, you know, be calm as needed, and that helps me restore and stay. You know, let's take a deep breath,
Okay.
take a step back, calm yourself down, and then so it's like, you know, as they say, you know, you don't have to react to a situation; you have to respond to it. So I think it helps me in that kind of framing of mind.
Well, thank you so much, Mukul, for being so candid about it. Your journey has been immensely rewarding, and I'm so happy to see that you are becoming more and more linear and more positive in your way of thinking.
Thank you, and I really appreciate. I discovered you and your program, and it helped me, and I'm sure people listening will also benefit a lot from this.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Follow, like, and subscribe. Stay well naturally and keep watching Your Homeopathy.